Hello, hello. Oh, nice. All right. Just came down with a little cold today, guys. So might be voice might sound a little different. No future. Hey, sir.
GM, feel better, sir.
Thanks. Feeling really good today. I went to the gym for an hour and then throat got all scratchy. I don't know. I don't know.
When you hit the gym, like do you separate your exercises or you do like a full body workout?
Right now I'm going to try to go at least twice a week. So usually I'll do chest and shoulders and biceps, and then the other day I'll do back and triceps and throw little legs in,
Nice.
and then sometimes I'll get a third workout, and then that's kind of like free for all.
Yeah, I try to go at least 3 times a week, but usually like closer to 4 or 5, just because I have free time. But like doing
Yeah,
push pull legs, so like chest, shoulders,
yeah.
triceps, and then back on a separate day, and then legs on a separate day, and mixing in abdominal stuff all the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gym is like it's a must for sure.
Yeah, strong mind, strong body. Getting ready for the
Certainly.
Gotchi Guardians gameplay. You gotta hit the gym a little bit before you jump into the tower
Right.
defense.
Get ready to sit for a few hours
Yeah, I've been loving
for
the
sure.
web build. I played
Me too,
Gotchi
man.
Guardians a little bit before, but now I find myself playing a lot more.
It's so accessible. Yeah, it's awesome. I've definitely been playing it like way more. I mean, everyone knew like we've been telling Slama like, bro, we got to get a web build because even even when we like get onto Epic, that's cool, but I think the game plays so well in a browser. It's like it should also be on a browser. Just there's lots of Web3 gamers that don't even have like Epic or getting onto Steam. We can't do anything with crypto, so this is kind of our little home. All the stuff, all the fun stuff that we want to do is on the web version, and then like when we get onto other platforms that are more restrictive, we'll have to remove some of the crypto stuff, or you won't be able to pay with Ghost, things like that. But this is always going to be where the hardcore crypto stuff is.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the experience on browser. It's just easy to get to. It doesn't like burden my computer. I don't have to worry about downloading anything, so it's really cool. And yeah, I mean, it's still stand like playing the game more now. It stands like out against a lot of the other Web3
Yeah,
games I see coming out. So I
there's nothing like it on the market. I mean, it's
yeah, it really like I saw that you
even
guys
in
got
Web two, like
a
yeah.
shout
Go
out
ahead.
from Legendary.
Yep.
That was awesome. Did he just like stumble upon the game on his own, or is that like a promotional thing?
It's not a promotional thing. They're like legendary, and they have like a little consulting group that we like started off when we were kind of talking with them about different working with different KOLs. That was kind of last year, and then I mean he just like he likes our project, he likes what we're doing, and we kind of like hang out like once a week or every few weeks we'll have a call and just catch up and kind of chat, you know, the state of the market and what we're working on, what they're doing with their show, and just I'd been telling them about the build. He was like, "I want to play it. I want to play it." So we played it on our call last week, and then he came back. He's like, "Bro, I'm addicted to this game." I was like, "Really, man? That's crazy." Because he's a gamer. Like he likes to play games. So this game hits the spot for him, I guess. Just like kind of like it does for me too. It's just it's got a nice little. It's in the pocket. So yeah, I mean, I was not expecting the shout out. I was off away from the computer, came back, and I'm like, oh shit! Jumped on the Gotchi Guardians account and just started replying to all the people that were talking about it. And I think we're gonna he's leveling up right now, and he wants to do a stream maybe next week. We might have a Gotchi Guardian stream with Legendary. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be epic. I saw it. It was just cool to see someone like as huge as he is on the timeline,
Yeah.
like showing it off. So that's really cool. I, in my perverse mind, would love for the team to hire Jonah Blake to give an honest review because I think he would enjoy it. And I know he's controversial, but he, in my mind, I'm like, this would create the perfect like marketing thing. And then also, I
Right.
was going to suggest y'all should reach out to the Bodagos team. Bodagos Entertainment. They do a big morning show, and they will do streams of like games and stuff like that. You're gonna have to
Hmm.
sponsor them, of course, but I think Easy Eats Bodega, Clemente, Pio, and the boys they would really enjoy the game because they could play together, and it would get it out to other Web3 users who are like they're mostly Solana native, but they're
Yeah.
multi-chain. A lot of them are playing around on base as well.
What's it called? Bodago.
Bodago, yeah.
Bodagos.
I'll
Yeah.
find.
I mean, we're ready to start. Like we've been quiet because there's nothing really to promote that's easy for people to jump in, but we've kind of been waiting for this game to be essentially ready. It's still got some bugs and stuff, but I mean it's playable. You can have a good time. You can play with friends. So yeah, we're definitely going to start getting louder and sponsoring stuff. Would depends on what the price point is, and we're also looking into just how we can deliver like how we can attract like just more normal users that want to just play tower defense games. I think if we can crack that, that's going to be like the big unlock. Like we can pay for Web3 marketing and stuff, but at the end of the day, like it's a fun game. People are always searching for new tower defense games, so that's another angle that we're definitely like going to be putting some effort into.
Yeah, that's awesome
But
to
yeah,
hear.
I'll check out, reach out to them and see what we can put together.
Yeah, because like especially like Easy. I know Easy IRL because we play basketball together, and it'd be right up his alley in terms of like streaming the game or reviewing it. Also, his girlfriend is the I forget what her role is, but she works with Magic Eden. Her name is Vo. She's actually like a former gamer. Like that's what kind of blew up her following on other platforms before she came over to Web3 or as she was in Web3. So she'd be another good person to like kind of talk to about the games.
Yeah, cool. Also on your side, I mean, we haven't really promoted it heavily yet. It was kind of tucked away inside the blog post, but starting next week, we're gonna start promoting this campaign more. It's called "Show Us Your Clips," and I think we've alluded to it a little bit on some of these hangouts. But basically, the idea, and open to feedback on this, but the idea is that people can play the game, and it's if you have like cool moments or do something interesting in the game that you think is clip worthy, you're already streaming, so it's really easy for you. Just cut that up into a clip and send it over to us. We're going to look at the clips, and then if we publish yours, like on X or even YouTube, we'll send a ghost bounty out. So kind of like play and earn, but it's without the Ponzonomics. Like we want to have good content on the timeline that people can actually see the game being played, and we're not just talking about it, but like actually have cool stuff that shows the gameplay. And so we're kind of like crowdsourcing these clips and got a little clip bounty out. So I haven't seen any other kind of games projects doing this. I mean, they have like ambassadors, but this is more just like a bounty program for clips.
So is this bounty program live? Because I can share this. I'm in like five different
Totally, dude.
creator
Let's
groups.
let's blow it up. Yeah,
Who who do
we're
I
ready
refer
to put
to?
some ghosts out. At least for a month or two. It's kind of it's a pilot program. So, and we're not like guaranteeing we're going to use people's clips. If they're low effort, we're just going to ignore them. But it's pretty simple. You just play the game. If you're streaming, you already got a huge leg up. You make like do something interesting, and maybe it's like a just an epic battle, or you like showed off how you were using items or whatever. Really, is whatever you think would be clippable. Like make that content and then send it to us, and then we'll give ghost bounties.
Yeah, I'm liking. I'm just reading along with it. 60-second max for the clip, so you want to keep these
Yeah,
short. People have short attention spans, and there's a type
yeah,
form at the bottom. Yeah, I'll
that's
share
right.
this around because like I'm playing it on my streams. I'm gonna start probably doing some more gaming streams, but just a mix of games because there's a few games that like are actually like playable things that aren't as boring, and you know this would be easy to clip from. So I'll share with some other
Yeah.
friends. Is this limited to just clips, or like can I tell like because I know plenty of people who could do like short form videos to like review the game, not review the game, but kind of explain it. Like, hey, this is Gotchi Guardians Tower Defense over on base,
Right.
stuff like that. Is that included, or do you see that happening with like any of the like this program down the line? I know
That's
it's a pilot.
that's a little bit out of the scope. We're trying to just focus the campaign on just clips. But like if someone, I mean, if they want to talk about it, that's more of like like a kind of a KOL package that we've done, and we found that we didn't get that much mileage out of this. But I think or doing stuff like that. But for this, like if they submit a clip, or Jesse also says here, you, I think if they're really lazy and they just want to put it on their X and add us, like we also could like give a bounty for just retweeting if it's a good clip and we retweet it, we can also just give a bounty for that. But this is also the one of the points was to get cool content that we can put out from the official socials, and then we'll also at the content creator. So like if you put a clip out, you send it to us, you wouldn't publish it, we would publish it, and we'll at you, and then you can retweet or the content creator can retweet. So it becomes kind of a win-win for that. But yeah, it's not really meant for like longer form content. But if someone wants to do content like that, they can also just reach out to us, and like we can also discuss that as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Like this is it's a good effort to get clips out there, and then I like the idea
Yeah,
of it being posted from the main account and tagging or like
yeah,
looping in that other person because you guys have such a big reach in comparison to most other smaller accounts.
yeah. Especially like if they don't have to be 20K followers. It could be a fairly small account, but they're just like really good at gaming, and they want to grow their account, or maybe they don't even want like they don't care about their account. They just want to play the games. Either way works for us. We just want to have consistent content that we can put out. So when people go to like the Gotchi Guardians X account, there's like they're just scrolling through it, and there's like, whoa man, like check out this clip. That's pretty sick. That's pretty epic. Just makes them want to play the game more.
Yeah, I agree. Twan, I see you're in the audience. Me, you, and the engineer are gonna have to set up a stream. Maybe we throw in one third nerd because you could play up to 8 players if I'm not mistaken
Yeah,
on Gotchi Guardians. So we can try to farm. Yes, Twan is down. We'll do like a
farm
one
some
hour
ghosts.
stream and just farm insanity out of it.
Yeah, we got some ghosts prepared. We're ready to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean the like Gotchi Guardians on browser. I think it's been very successful since it's launched, and I'm enjoying it. What do you see as like the next steps, like in terms of the game development, or we've talked about marketing, but I guess any other
Mhm.
aspects of like the game itself, like moving forward from this?
So the next steps for Gotchi Guardians, I think we've alluded to this, but we're also working on getting it listed on a very big handheld device, not a phone, but it's not. We haven't signed the documents and stuff yet, but it's getting. We're in very advanced talks with getting this game published. So that's that. If we can get to that level, like that's going to be a very big unlock. I think. Uh, like it's hard to say how big it could go, but it definitely gives us a very good chance at like really meeting our monetization goals for the year. So we're not making any promises on that. Timelines are also still up in the air, but we're working really hard. Slum is going to be doing some meetings at GDC. He's going to be at GDC if anyone else is going to be there, meeting this publisher, and so that's one thing, big thing on the Guardian side. Um, And yeah, as Jesse said, we got we got it listed on on DAR and Hyperplay. It'll be coming to B3 very soon. B3 is the base native gaming platform, so we'll get some nice exposure from their audience. We're gonna do probably game nights and stuff with them, and yeah, it's at that point it's just like more content, right? More maps, more stuff to buy in the shop, skins, all that kind of stuff. So Gotchi Guardians, I'm feeling more and more confident that if we can just get a wider audience of players, I really think that like this is the way that we can monetize the IP. At least one of the one of the cleaner ways to monetize Aavegotchi and get revenue for Pixelcraft, get revenue for the DAO, and just move everything forward. So we're trying.
Yeah, you definitely are. With this like handheld console bit, I'm assuming like the memory requirements are like better than say like like or a handheld could probably handle it. So like, is there a lot of like
Yeah,
work that has to be done to the game to like get it, I guess, mobile ready, not mobile cellular, but mobile
yeah.
handheld console?
Not really. It's something the team has kind of already done a little bit of that investigation, but it was kind of built in mind to be a mobile game. Just the way that you move, you tap on the screen, you tap on everything, so it's really not a lot of changes required to get it suitable for mobile or other handheld devices.
That's awesome. And then this is like, pipe dream, but I'm sure, other gotchi collectors out there. Is there a possibility, like without giving away, I guess, the console, for the game to be a physical version? Because most of these you'll download the game, but there's still
Mhm.
gaming systems where you can get like cartridges or like little memory cards, something, like kind of a nod to the old school.
Uh, Not until we're like profitable. Until that's like a fun thing to do. I think we're not. I don't think we're there yet. I think we need to uh, make be revenue positive, and then that's like a fun collector's item that we could do probably.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah. Also, DAO members, if any of you are into auto chess, we need to come up with like a gotchi auto chess kind of game. Not like similar to gotchi battler, but not as idle. One where it's like almost like a TCG where it's auto chess. Because I've been playing some on some like other networks, and it's like, oh man, this is such an addictive, like kind of. It's not cozy gaming, but it kind of feels cozy because you do so little, but it's still a little bit more active than a straight up what's it called, idle battler. I see immaterial putting the
Right.
eye emoji, so I'm wondering if that has something to do with what I'm talking about. Yeah, auto chess is I've just been having fun with that.
Is that the Dota one?
No, there's one on Say. It's called Infinity Heroes, and it's like they're gonna make it mobile. The integrations to Say are just very basic. Like they're doing like a TGE, but it's just like it's a PC based game where it's just an auto chess game, but you're using these different Infinity Heroes that you get from NFT packs. So just been
Right.
playing that, and it's just super, it works really well. It's like a simple loop, and you get to watch the animations of the fights. And I was playing yesterday, and I was like, damn, a gotchi version of this like with the IP would like go really well.
Yeah, someone vibe code a like a proof of concept.
Yeah, I feel like the coding part of it becomes easier. I went to Grok and gave it instructions to create a Aavegotchi themed 2048, and he gave me the
Hmm.
entire like instructions plus the code, how to set it up and get it running on a server. I haven't done any of it because I'm lazy, but I was like, oh man, we're getting really far ahead with the AI now.
Oh man, I mean, just go to this one v0.dev. Grok is good for just the like it telling you what to do, but if you actually want to code it, you don't actually need like Grok is not that useful because you have to do all the work yourself. If you want to just make something quick, V0 is kind of what I've been using to get like a project started, and then after that you can kind of take it into Cursor or something. but it'll get you pretty far.
Yeah, this looks interesting. I'm gonna have to play around with it. See, I'm not a dev. I've studied like very
Right.
like beginnings of Python. So like just I need to understand the process and workflow of taking
Hmm.
code and then deploying it to it being a usable product. I have to pick Twan's mind because he's actually done this a lot via
Everyone's a dev now. Yeah, I
everyone's a
totally
dev,
agree
yeah.
with Tuan. You with V0, it's really cool. You literally you can build it in V0, and then when it gets like too big for the AI in V0 to manage, it's literally just one line of code. You run a command in your command line, and it loads the whole repo onto your and like locally, and then you can kind of then there's a little bit more work, like you gotta open cursor or windsurf or something, but it's totally doable. I mean, if anyone is like interested in vibe coding, but you don't know where to start, I was thinking some point maybe next week I could do like a session or something in the here in the Discord or something or on X. But let's just like do some vibe coding and Gotchi Guardians, just play around a little bit, like just getting people over that hump of like don't even you don't even know what to do. I think there's definitely some stuff we could do here in the Discord to like promote more people just trying stuff, making proof of concepts with ideas that you have. Like why like we should have a 2048 Gotchi skin.
Yeah, I mean that I love that because it kind of reminds me of when I first got into the community. All these community devs building different
Yeah.
games for these little competitions. We had like the Pac-Man stuff, the original Tower Defense, Gotchi, Gotchi the Gatherer, which I love the little platform game. So
Yeah.
yeah, and the tools are there now.
That
Like I,
shit we can like one shot those games almost now. Like it's one thing I want to do is I want to make an API where you can just tell the API what Gotchi ID you want, or maybe not even the Gotchi ID. Just like give me a random Gotchi, or give the ID, and then it just shoots it. It just gives you all of the SVGs and the Gotchi info. Right now, it's like a little bit painful because you gotta the AI doesn't know how to query the subgraph and all that kind of stuff. So we need to make like a little API. Yeah, I've seen the MCP stuff. Still haven't like wrapped my head around exactly what I haven't used it yet in Cursor, but it's all over the feed right now. But yeah, we could make like a Gotchi MCP basically that just like has all the info that these AIs need to build stuff. Way more bullish than that. Yeah, I'll dedicate a little bit of time to. And it's one of those things that you just need to do it locally and kind of understand what it can do.
I also think those kind of streams could be good for onboarding because I think one of the greatest assets in our community is like the giga brain nature of the community. I've been in a
Yeah.
lot of other gaming and NFT communities, and it's like we go down significantly a level in terms of like just the creativity and intellect that I find in this Discord. So showing that, hey, we're building games, but we're talking like, the vibe coding stuff, especially because I think a lot of people would love to learn that, and you know what you're doing. So I would definitely watch a
Mm.
stream of that, and then if as long as the Aavegotchi IP is like tied into your stream, I think it becomes an easy win for us because it's not just like, hey, you're coming into an active game ecosystem with a thriving DAO, but now also it's like it's a place where you can grow beyond just like being a DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like where we can win as a community is what kind of we've always been is like this is kind of your place to get your feet wet in Web3 a little bit. Like we're a friendly like safe atmosphere where people can just come in and like yeah get to learn the ropes of Web3. So I think totally mixing crypto and vibe coding and gaming together and like some activities here in the server could be really fun.
Yeah, 100%. Good morning, Jesse. How you doing?
Yo.
You guys doing good, doing good. Also dabbling my toes in the vibe coding. Got to meet up with Dan a bit and he was giving me a tour of some of the stuff that he's been able to code up in just, half hour here, 60 minutes there. It's crazy what you can do. And very inspiring. So I've been kind of stuck in like the grok phase, just like ideating and getting outlines of things to do, but not actually like executing. And I think that's where I got to jump in. So I would be happy to jump in some Wednesday, Thursday type, you know, sessions here in the Discord or streams on YouTube with our StreamYard or however we want to do it. But ultimately, I mean, once we get like, we're talking about our SDK and all the on-chain stats we have, we got to prioritize some time here in the near future to get this stuff like optimized and accessible to AI. And then everybody in this call right now should be able to like just start running with it and creating all sorts of, whether they're arcade games or dApps or dashboards. You can do just about anything you want.
Yeah, let's fill out the game section on Aavegotchi.com. Just have like hundreds of games.
Kind of like how the early days we had, some
Yeah.
really fun little arcade games that filled out that one tab. Let's just do that, but times 100. I could
Yeah,
see XP raining down in like the most played vibe coded games of the week or something.
Right.
So there'll just be so many of them. It's like built for volume.
But yeah, it is totally possible to build something that's, it it works and provides a valuable resource. This little dashboard, gifts.aavegotchi.com, I think there's still a little bit of funky stuff that I'm working out with it, but it's pretty much working now. It shows all the GIFs that we've uploaded to Giphy. It shows the total number of views. It shows every day Giphy updates the view count of their GIFs, or at least it's supposed to be every day. There was a weird patch last week where they didn't update it for a day, and I was like, "What are you guys doing? Where's my numbers?" But this is essentially using this web scraping tool called Firecrawl, and every day it populates all the GIFs, and then it scrapes Giphy.com to fetch the view counts for the GIFs every day. Because Giphy doesn't give you that in their API. I don't know why, but they're holding that back. So I was like, I want to see how many views my GIFs are getting every day. And so I made this little dashboard. So it totally automated now. Every day, it twice a day, it picks the latest numbers, and then it runs this scraping on each GIF in the that we've uploaded. 53 GIFs so far. So it's like kind of just fun to watch that every day. And I have coded maybe 0.1% of this. Everything has been just talking with the AI and like telling it to fix stuff, add new features.
Crazy. That's the crazy part. Anybody in this chat could have probably vibe coded this into existence. And you used the link you shared earlier, right? Vercel, their kind of AI platform to start with it.
I started it there, and then once it got a little bit too advanced, I moved it over into Cursor. But it's great for like V0 is great for starting something, and then like you can get really far with like one prompt. But you can do a few prompts. Like I think I got about 30 prompts deep, and then I was starting to feel like this is getting a little bit like it's losing context too quickly, and so I moved it into Cursor.
No, it's super impressive. I can see so many tools and dashboards and all that stuff. It's like all there at our fingertips, and we're on the cusp of open sourcing the DAF itself. So I just see like the community, you guys being able to like literally create these extensions and then have them listed or shown directly in the DApp. That's kind of the end game here, right? That's part of the point of doing this.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. Ditchy Mech Abandoned Pants. Where are we on the roadmap for using our NFT stats inside the games? I mean, we're here. Like Spirit Force Arena and Gotchiverse and upcoming GBS farming is all gonna have the NFT stats, the wearables, the Gotchi traits. Nothing really new there. Gotchi Guardians recently added the Aavegotchis themselves, so that's pretty cool. Like you can, someone pointed out it's kind of a fun way to hide which Guardian you're playing as, because you can use your own Gotchi as the Guardian, but the traits are the same. It's still using the Guardian traits, but you can kind of hide which Guardian you're playing as, which is kind of fun. So we're not intending to add the Gotchi traits to Gotchi Guardians just because we've already established the play style for Gotchi Guardians, and it would just make it extremely difficult to balance. But yeah, each game has its own kind of different level of integration with the protocol itself. And yeah, as Immaterial points out, the Gotchi Battler does use the traits front and center.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, and I will say, like, for me personally, anyway, I don't know. There's something like really important about seeing my Gotchi in Gotchi Guardians. It like just and then immediately doubled my enjoyment of playing the game. Between that and like just being in my browser, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can share this with friends and family finally. I would hesitate to do that before because I'd be like, oh, you got to download this thing and it's going to have a patch update a month from now. And now it's like, it's here. Just hop in and play with me. Well, it's quite nice. That coupled with my gotcha skins. On the Gotchiverse side, also, um, we kind of did a quiet little release this week. I bet about half of you in the chat already know, and the other half may not. If you're not sure what I'm referencing, head over to the Gotchiverse 3D channel, and you will be pleasantly surprised to find that um, it's what you saw in the picture I just shared is actually live. So farming with build mode is live right now on the website. We opted not to make a big announcement because it is, in the strictest sense, a very raw stress test. So we welcome anybody that's active and frequenting that channel. We just quietly said, hey, we just pushed it to prod. And if you want to hop in and try it out, we already know there's, 3, 4, 5 bugs that prevent us from making a bigger announcement. And we suspect based off that there's probably a few more. You guys are very, very welcome to hop in and help us bug test and play test it right now. And that's exactly what people like Hardcore and Grim and others have been doing, and then some with more success than others in terms of the farming experience. So all of that is getting logged. The team was monitoring that on Thursday and Friday of this week, and the backlog is now full as we head into the second half of the sprint next week. So it's going to be done really soon, and you guys popping in and trying it and giving us feedback is going to help us get there even faster. But yeah, very curious, and I hope you find the experience very enjoyable. Knowing, of course, that's not going to be the optimal, super smooth experience yet. For some, it may be, but for a power user like Grim, I think he he overloaded our ability to do an empty all for 100+ parcels or whatever it may be, whatever that number is. It was too many. So we're going to try to find out what that upper limit is and see if we can optimize.
Yeah, it's kind of like the gas limits of the blockchain. If we can't go above those, we got 93
Wow.
today. Awesome.
That's
How much
good.
gas? How much gas? Do you have the transaction? I would love to see that one. How much gas did that use? I'm interested. Did we hit the 20 million, 25 million gas limit, or is it way under? And yeah, I like his suggestion to be able to just one-click upgrade all the way up to level 9. I think it requires a bit of rewriting of the contracts, but that could be pretty helpful. Love that that UI is looking sick. Really nice.
Yeah, little name change. Gotchi Battle Simulator is a bit of a mouthful. Lately, we made the switch a couple weeks ago internally to start calling it Lick Invasion. So the colloquial term for a liquidator. We got the Lick Invasion. You'll see the mock-up here, and it's very scalable. So one side is your farming, and the other side can be all these other experiences like the downtown social, where you can connect and follow other people's player profiles and win badges. And Lick Invasion, I'm sure, will also have badges for you. And yeah, it's put them together. Dan, I'm tempted. If I want to, I could go look for one of these mock-ups from the team for, we were talking about like traits and like how the traits play into character select screens for Lick Invasion. I think I could go probably have some success digging that up from the team files if we wanted to share that. I know with the caveat, it's very early. Like,
Well,
we're not really.
it hasn't really changed from what we had in SFA. I think we're just keeping it because that was balanced somewhat. So we're not doing any further balancing of that. I think so. If you played SFA, you kind of know what your gotchis
That's
should
true.
play as in Lick Invasion. But
Yeah, in terms of
those will definitely change as we get more data, since this is kind of a totally new mode, PVE versus PvP.
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Spirit Force did a lot in terms of the balancing of all those hand wearables, especially,
Yeah.
and then the traits of the gotchis themselves. All of that gets carried over into Lick Invasion. It's just PvE instead of PvP, but a lot of it is very, very similar. A little update on our side. There was some issues with. We were hoping to be a clean port of using all the work we put into the spawning logic for the licks in Spirit Force Arena. Just reuse all of that one to one and Lick Invasion. But apparently, there were some little surprises and things that just don't make that possible. So that was the one thing that went over the estimates for our last sprint. And so, unfortunately, just spending a little more time getting the spawning logic set up for this first prototype early, early access to Lick Invasions. But I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. We also used AI to help solve some of those problems and probably save a day or two of work. So I fully expect by next week we'll have some good news on that front and it could be done on the spawning side. But that did knock down a couple of tasks for the Unity devs, unfortunately. But yeah, just keeping you guys in the loop. That's just real life coming out this fast. So, licks. We can liquidators, man. That said, Dan, even though what you said is true, it's basically the same data and the same learnings we're applying to this game. I mean, Stellar's mock-up, I want to know what you guys think. I think I'm going to go hunt for it because I think it's just beautiful.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's something to look forward to. So give me one moment, bro.
You guys are on the call here. Who has not played Gotchi Guardians yet? The new build. Curious. Is there anything else we can do? I know we're working on doing an XP event for the game, but I'm curious if there's anything else. If you're not into tower defense games, totally understand that. That also makes sense. But yeah, I think this is. I would love to get more people playing and just giving feedback on the game, helping us continue doing testing in the WebGL because we've killed a lot of the bugs, but there still are some. And as we go and trying to get on bigger platforms, it'd be great to have more feedback about what you guys are enjoying or not enjoying. Yeah,
Yes,
here's the
highly encourage everybody to organize game nights. We at Pigscript, we can also set those up and host events. We will be doing that in the week ahead, so be on the lookout. But at the same time, you guys are free to do that as well, right? So No Future's in there right now. This is pretty cool. We see No Future playing Guardians right now, and Nadio's hanging out in the farming and Gotchiverse. as we speak. It's just like all the gotchas are active again. They're just spread across multiple games. No Goobs is in there. Schnitzel Death, hell yeah. Wanda Gotchi, he beat me the other day. Stellar's in
Yeah,
there.
it's a great looking room.
Ooh, yeah. By the way, for what it's worth, it's not optimized for iPads, but it works
Oh
fine.
yeah,
I was playing Wanda Gotcha the other day on my iPad, and
yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, it was a kind of a cool preview of what it will look like once it's optimized for mobile. And I was able to touch around, and like my Gotcha would follow. I could use the 2-finger pinch to zoom. The
Wow.
only like odd thing was the item select in the lower left. It kind of had all the tooltips popping up, like explaining each potential purchase all at once. So that was kind of weird, but it's totally playable. Like I didn't really find it that distracting and played that through it.
Yeah, the last thing to do is really we gotta optimize the shop flow. Right now,
Yeah,
it's too many clicks to get Ghost in and pay for stuff, or you can use Zola, the credit card provider, which people have been using. But we get that going and make it super easy for people to buy stuff, get your XP fountain and get your starter packs and stuff, and we're gonna be on the way towards having a potentially a way to keep funding this whole ecosystem that isn't really dilutive of anyone's assets. That's kind of the holy grail we're trying to unlock with this game. Bring make a fun game that is also going to generate value back to the Aavegotchi community. It's really the big unlock that I think it's very possible. You just got to get creative and really just lock in and figure out how to grow the player base. But I think I'm feeling more and more confident that we got the right, like this is the right way to do it. So everyone go and play the Gotchiverse, do the farming, play Guardians. I think Jesse. We were also talking potentially of giving away some Alchemica for the badges in Gotchi Guardians as well. We've got the system kind of set up to do it, but we just haven't enabled that yet. So adding a little bit, spicing things up a little bit, where you can even earn a little bit of Pixelcraft's Alchemica by getting the badges in Guardians.
yeah. I think part of it was maybe just waiting on some of these votes to go through in the DAO, which I'm sure
Right.
we'll talk about here in the next hour. And there's some on the cusp of hitting quorum. And but yeah, kind of regardless, we can do that from the Alchemica balances that we had at Pixelcraft. So I think we're going to do that to some extent, no matter what. Yeah, the badge system is set up to support like you earn the badge and it distributes whatever token we want to put out there, especially Alchemica. So that'll tie in really nice with the Alchemica campaigns. And yeah, just pretty excited for all of that. I think the other thing we want to do, right, is tentatively here, be on the lookout for an XP event around Gotchi Guardians. I don't think we've ever done a proper XP event for Gotchi Guardians. And there's a big reason, which is it never supported like reading your exact ID of your Gotchi prior to this release.
Right.
And now that is suddenly very, very possible and built in.
Yeah, I we just got to verify that all that info is being stored properly, and then we're gonna go forward and do a little XP event. It's gonna be fun. Let's see what else. Anything else going on in Gotchi verse? I saw Gotchi Battler. You guys launched a kind of a one-off tournament feature. Could anyone maybe talk about that a little bit? I think that was kind of exciting. See immaterial here. Okay, cool. We got Brills. Come on.
And I saw that and immediately was like, that's what I've been looking for. I think that's such a cool feature. I want to hear more about it. Jules.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Yo. But yeah, I just shared the post there in the chat. We did launch a new feature this week, custom tournaments. We're hosting our first custom tournament test this weekend. It's actually going to start up right after the DAO call there. So you guys still have about just over an hour if you want to register your teams. And for the first custom tournament here, we just have some pretty basic settings of 3,000 BRS as a max team cap and 650 as the max BRS each Gotchi can have. So those are the basic rules there. There's going to be a 1 hour preparation phase before each round, and items are disabled for this tournament. Double elimination as always. So those are the rules, but really cool to see this feature go live and a lot of potential events we can host in the future with it.
So I'll ask some questions that may be obvious to some, but I'll just try to play that so everybody knows. When you say that the rounds are 1 hour, I could start the tournament, enter my team, and when I wake up in the morning 8 hours later, basically the tournament's over, right? Because 8 hours will have, 8 rounds will have gone by, and I'll just see how it all played out. Is that accurate?
Yeah, definitely depends on your time zone. For you, Jesse, since you guys are overseas, it would be most of the tournament would be happening probably overnight there. But I'm in NA, and it's kind of like it is once every hour the battles are going to fire off. I'm not sure exactly how many rounds we're going to have. Let me just check quickly how many teams we got currently. Because there might be around 10 rounds potentially with the losers bracket. So the whole tournament might take around 12 hours to complete or less. But yeah, definitely short rounds. Since it's just a test tournament, not much at stake here. We're going to be giving away some fake gotchis. We have a little battler fake gotchi to give away. So we'll definitely add that to give away to some of the players. But yeah, to answer your question, just the battles start once every hour or at the top of every hour. And then you can prepare for the next battle after the current one is completed there. So yeah, it would probably, if you enter your team before bed, you might get the results when you wake up there though.
So you can do substitutions and stuff for each round?
Yeah.
Or no?
The preparation phase allows you to do substitutes on your team, or you would usually be able to add items. Not in this tournament though, but you can also change your leader. So you can change your formation, do subs, do anything you can to basically give yourself the best chance at the next battle there. And you can use the simulator tool to kind of find those answers.
How important do you think the subs are? Do you think if I set a team and just forget it, I could still perform relatively well?
Yes, I think in this tournament you could do all right, just since people might not be, going as crazy in the preparation phases. Like during our main rarity farming tournaments, we see a lot of the top teams, like K Team. He's been very successful with subs, but then there's other people like the Mad Corp. I think they don't really run subs. It's kind of like a game theory there, where depending on how many gotchis you have, do you want to put subs in your team, or do you want to create more teams? So that's always a choice you have to make. But basically, I think in this tournament, if you don't have to worry about having subs, you can just put 5 in and they should do all right. It is a 3,000 BRS team cap though. So the closer you get to 3,000 BRS, probably the better your team's going to do there.
Love it. Now, what other use cases do you see for these custom tournaments? Like you're setting up this custom tournament. It's kind of the first of its kind, but this is open to anybody, right? Like, could I theoretically do, I don't know, some even shorter time frame tournament that rounds every 15 minutes, for example, something really extreme, but just for people in my time zone, or I'm hosting an event at a conference and I want to have it resolved during the same day or something. Are those kind of options available yet?
Yeah, I see Matir in the chat there saying he's looked at implementing, less than 1 hour rounds. So that's definitely something we can add. Currently, I think the lowest setting is 1 hour, but this is just the most basic, initial launch of test tournaments. We can always adjust the features there and the settings for future tournaments. So yeah, definitely we could in the future maybe have a turbo tournament where the rounds are every 15 minutes or half an hour. That'd be interesting as well. But yeah, the basic settings are just like capping the BRS for now. And at different BRS levels, like for the team cap, some people don't feel very competitive in the main tournament because they have maybe just a bunch of 500 BRS Gotchis. But then when we host maybe in the future a 2,500 BRS cap, then they're going to feel super competitive because they basically have the best team they can create for that specific tournament. But also, I guess you mentioned who can create these tournaments. I think it's going to be a feature that everyone, people can create their own custom tournaments. But then we're also probably definitely going to be hosting kind of official Gotchi Battler custom tournaments as well.
It's very cool. And I love to pick your brain on like what kind of new use cases you see this unlocking. So 1 hour for now is the minimum. And what about prize wise? Like one thing that kind of in my head is like, I'm just trying to think as like as a fan, I'm like, I could set up my own tournament right now. But I don't have a way to distribute the prizes other than just based on trust, which I can totally do. But like, there's no script or something built in for like locking in these fake gotchas or UFC 20 prizes, right? I guess that would be like maybe something that may be a little more hard to do, but something we could do it someday in the future.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Mateo says can look at automating prize distribution in the future. And also he also mentions having buy-ins for custom tournaments, so the prize pool is generated by the entries. So that's also two really good points. But yeah, right now, like for example, with the fake gotchis, I'll just be distributing those manually since this is just kind of a test. But yeah, in the future, it'd be great to have an automated distribution for sure.
Wow, very cool. It's better to like iterate and do things step by step than like fold it back and wait till every single feature and that's implemented. So love what you guys are doing, and these are just some of the ideas that immediately jump to mind. So yeah, love the idea. I'm thinking what you said about the 2,500 makes a lot of sense, and that wasn't like obviously apparent to me right away. But now I'm like, oh, you could just like put that team cap really low and like suddenly it's basically like the common Gotchi's tournament. It's like something you could do. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Because one of the main like feedbacks, or not feedbacks, but just like some people, obviously it's never fun when you have the main rarity farming tournaments. Maybe your team's not the best, and some people like it is meant to gamify the rarity farming leaderboard. And with rarity farming, a lot of the prizes went to the top teams. So the same is true with Battler. But yeah, with these custom tournaments, we can basically just give other people a chance to feel like the rush of making it late in a tournament that they normally wouldn't in the main ones, right? So I'm really excited to host a bunch of different BRS caps and see who can come out victorious. I currently have a team. I'm hyped to see how it does. I got the 3,000 BRS. It was the first combo I lined up. It was 5 gotchis and it just equaled out to 3,000 perfectly. So I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Nice.
Super cool. Anything else we should know about with Bad Lab that's on the horizon, or other than like continue to build out the custom tournaments? Maybe there's some other stuff cooking.
Yeah, I guess the things I could mention is there's going to be some balancing changes in the near future. We are potentially going to have a balancing change during the last rarity farming season or during those tournaments. But we decided it's better to just keep the meta the same for the current season, which was last one, number 9, and then kind of reevaluate the meta and maybe make some balancing changes for the rarity farming season 10 tournaments. And I don't have an official date to share with you guys yet, but likely starting those next month. Yeah, that basically, so I guess the news would be look forward to the next official rarity farming tournaments and what should we call it? Sorry. Balancing changes as well will be in play for next season. Yeah, sorry, Graham. I see in the chat there. I don't have any exact date yet, but it's probably, we'll say April-ish. It shouldn't. I just think the goal is finish the Battler tournaments before the next rarity farming snapshots. So, and we can probably finish well before that.
This is super cool. So just to recap, you said there's about is it just an hour left to jump into this tournament you guys are currently putting on?
Yeah, just over an hour there. to register, and then there'll be a 1 hour preparation round for the first, or preparation phase for the first round. So the first battles will start up in about a couple hours from now, and they'll be firing off every hour until the tournament's complete. So yeah, good luck to everyone that's in there. 78 teams so far, and we'll see if any more people want to join. I'll send a link right now there, Jesse. I'm actually on the page here. Let me just share it. Cool. So yeah, there's a registration. If you guys want to go, click on that link, and look forward to seeing you guys in there.
Love it, man. Super cool stuff you guys are doing. Love the progress, and custom tournaments make so much sense. You guys are cooking.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, we're just gonna keep doing our thing and hopefully continue to provide value for the Gotchi gang. So appreciate you having me up here. I guess it's close to the Dow call now, so I'll probably step off. But thanks for
I
everything.
wanted to ask real quick: are there any things that you would like to see kind of built on top of Battler, or quality of life things that people could build? You know, as we talked about vibe coding earlier, are there any things that like you guys can't or don't have the time to build, but would be fun additions to kind of extend the functionality? Any problems that you guys have noticed that would be fun to solve?
I'm not sure if there's any problems like to solve necessarily. Like Immaterial would probably be able to give you a better answer on that one. But as far as just
Well,
like,
it's like ways to extend it, like to make the experience even better, or like help you, for example, like help you make a team, or like
definitely. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely like a bunch of features that could be added, like quality of life stuff,
Yeah.
like kind of like say there's like a team up feature, maybe like if you were able to just, instead of like putting a Gotchi up for rent, you just put like a Gotchi up for like a team or whatever like that, and then maybe someone that has 4 Gotchis can just kind of claim that. I guess the one thing is when you're renting with Gotchis to other teams right now, the prizes are sent to the team that to the address that registered the team. So a lot of times people are looking for like upfront ghost for their Gotchi because they know that, they kind of have to, otherwise if they're doing a different deal, they have to trust the person they're renting to will send the rewards once it's there. But I'm just basically saying that's a feature that maybe could be a little easier where, maybe you're renting a Gotchi for a percentage of a prize pool rather than, or like for example, when I would do the Battler program with our guild, people would give us a Gotchi for a team. And each Gotchi would earn like 1/5 of the team's prize. So it's just like, if you could maybe implement something like that, that might be a little bit of a quality of life upgrade for sure. And then there's just a bunch of other features that we're like looking at doing in the future, just as like different game modes, like stuff inspired by Fantasy Top, potentially stuff like single player game modes that we can do, really cool stuff. So definitely tons of potential, but I'm not exactly sure the right answer there.
Sure. Yeah, I know, like training and putting teams together, looking at stats and stuff. Those could all be little things people could potentially build. I see the API here is fully open source. That's cool.
Yeah, definitely. We love seeing
great
people.
job.
Love seeing people work together. That's a cool part about Battle. I mean, obviously it's some people, or not some people, but the way the game works is you need 5 Gotchis to play. So if you don't have 5 Gotchis, it kind of it forces you to make friends and work together. So if we could, maybe streamline something, sort of make that process a little cleaner, that could be something in the future. But we've also talked about, in the recent calls about, maybe making like a 3v3 game mode. There's always just so much different directions you can go there, but
Totally.
definitely lots of ideas. And thanks for sharing your ideas too.
Yeah, I liked what